Just a quick reminder, at the end of every video, I'm going to be putting some of the bloopers that are actually funny and a little bit of a nugget, pearl of wisdom, jokes that's relevant to cars and the insanity. Don't miss out, even though I roll credits, there's still some little cool stuff in there. That's for the hardcore rippers. Welcome everyone, this is Rip Roaring Garage, I'm Alex, and it's been another big week in the auto world, and we're going to start it off with the 5 things I think that are most interesting. I do want to mention one quick little thing, that this channel kind of found its footing. I actually feel that we, and I say we, not just because of me, but those of you on that end of the screen, we're starting to make a little bit of a difference getting our message across when it comes to cars and our way of life. The gearhead way of life, V8s, muscle cars, American iron, and that sort of thing. The one thing I'm asking from you, my call to action, Hemi a like and Hemi a subscribe, and also BitChute and Rumble. Yeah, there we go. Just sign up, that's all I'm asking. Just push a couple of buttons. BitChute, I think, is the biggest contender. Rip Roaring Garage is the #1 channel on that entire platform when it comes to cars. And that's all because of you guys that continuously watch and like, comment, and do all that good stuff. So let's start with the first thing on the agenda. Brampton shuts down for 3 weeks because it wasn't hard enough getting a 2022. A lot of people got notifications in the email through the Dodge system that basically their cars will not be built and they have to resubmit for 2023. So already with the allocation nightmare that's 2023, all of them being up front at the beginning of the year, no more quarterly allocations. Now you're gonna have 22 people that are gonna be jumping on that dog pile. Great. This is gonna go down in the history of how to alienate your fans and make them hate what should be a fun process. A lot of these cars are dream cars. If it wasn't for just the fact that I was able to get this car, I would have called this a nightmare. The question is, why are they shutting down? Of all things, this kind of stuff. Yep, it's the emblems, insignia, logos. There's a shortage of those. I mean, I get it, you don't want to deliver a car without the kind of stuff. Now, the supplier is Tribar. Tribar is a company based out of Wixom, Michigan. Now, they supply emblems not just for FCA, but also for Ford as well as GM. They got caught in a scandal and they were forced to shut down by either the EPA or state authorities because of toxic pollution. I'm reserving judgment for whatever that's worth in this day and age with the EPA that seems to have a hard-on for smaller companies down to, like, you know, we all know the whole diesel scandal. But hey, you know, it's an easy buck for the government. Got to pay that welfare state. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so Tribar is accused of dumping some waste and ignoring alarms. Everybody that lives with a woman in the house knows when they cook and the alarm goes off every single day. Beep, beep, beep. What happens is you get desensitized. And when there's a real incident, you basically have to wait until you're choking with smoke to act. I would not be surprised if that's the case with Tribar. Again, this is not an endorsement of their activities, whatever comes out. I'm just saying that I would not be surprised if that's the case. When you have a society that is so gung-ho with environment and stuff, and alarms and regulations, don't be surprised when they just stop caring. The worker at the lowest level just doesn't give a rat's ass. There's somebody who might have a good take on it. There's a boy that he used to cry a lot, and he used to cry wolf. Who knows, maybe there's gonna be like a debadged edition. And that brings us to point number 2. What's up with Dodge and SEMA? They pulled out. Well, they didn't pull out completely. They're gonna be bringing the Duster Buster, the Banshee to SEMA instead of the 7th mystery car. Now here's my take on the 7th mystery car. I think this car is going to be, or it was supposed to be, a stage kit car. So basically a super stock, most likely a jailbreak with the pulley kit and all that to bump it up to 909 horsepower or 1,000 or whatever stage they put, 1, 2, or 3. However, California, thanks California. California did not pass emissions for these stage kits. It's also why it's all TBD on DodgeGarage.com. That would have been I don't want to say a production car, but it's already there. They're already doing the work. It's not the Elephant, which Dodge really hasn't put it in a car at all. So they don't have the know-how. They don't have the assembly lines and whatnot. However, for the stage kit, it's going to be one of those things like it gets installed at the dealership prior to delivery, which is kind of what would happen anyways with those things. You tell me if you think that's not the most likely 7th edition car. And most likely that would be called the CUDA because, you know, why not? And, you know, just slap more badges. But, you know, maybe Dodge overtaxed Tribar with too many stickers and too many badges and they had to cut corners to, you know. Number 3.
And just at home, how fast does it charge?
Everybody's been talking about this video.
The new GMC Hummer EV truck is the quickest charging vehicle on the market right now. How fast does it charge? Just plugged it at my house, 120 volt. Right now it's about 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and it says it'll be full by Saturday at 10:55, which is 4+ days of charging.
Now this channel, TFLEV, my hunch he's an EV guy. Well, it's one of those situations where, you know, FAFO. I have no sympathy. You bought that thing, you ignored a lot of people that said, this ain't gonna be a good idea, and now you're complaining. You know, there's other people saying, oh, he's only using 110 volts at 8 amps. So I need 40 for the fast charger? My garage has 15. So you got to rewire your whole house, and otherwise you risk burning it down. That's really environmentally conscious, right? My 809 horsepower, I can recharge that in 5 minutes. But this is what happens when you have a planned economy versus the free market. The free market is a consenting fiscal system. Planned economy is basically GM got money from the government, subsidies and whatnot, to build something nobody wants except 3 people that are in social media, probably paid to get an EV Hummer. You have to be somebody, especially this early in the game. You can't tow with it. When it gets cold, you can't go anywhere. It's a product that cannot compete like a small business. You have to compete and survive. Think of it like an animal. It has to survive and evolve. That's not evolution. That's not progress. This is evolution. This is progress. I don't even know if the 6.2 is a big block or a small block, but that kind of power, that's progress. And it gets good mileage, and it doesn't really pollute. And if those are the kinds of values you have as a consumer, that should be between you and the company. This kind of planned economy and the IRS 87,000 agents coming to take your money makes me think of the next thing on our list. Now, most of you guys know where I sit politically. I have a bit of a soft spot for Texas. I was stationed there for many years. Other than the tornadoes, it's not a bad place. But anyways, in recent years, they've started adopting the worst of both worlds. Energy policy-wise, we all remember, what was it, last winter with the windmills freezing and people actually dying because of that. But also, they're one of those states that just love civil asset forfeiture. A leftist doesn't care what Texas does with this kind of stuff. It justifies their argument of, you know, anti-police and whatnot. Civil asset forfeiture is basically a cop suspects you're up to no good and decides, I'm going to take your car, I'm going to take whatever cash you may have, or your house, or whatever. And in recent news, not only did they seize a guy's car, but they also flaunt it. Hellcat, Redeye. I don't know what the guy's crime is, and honestly, it's not really relevant. Apparently he was, you know, racing, whoop-de-doo. We've all done it, okay? All in good fun, nobody gets hurt, and most of us know when to back off before dumb stuff happens. However, I thought in this country, you know, the sanctity of one's property was up there. Apparently not, because they can take your car, put a wrap on it, and then just put it on patrol to whatever. Why? Oh, it became a felony or something? Or not even I don't even know what the laws in Texas are anymore, because you're bragging about open carry, yet you're giving this guy a gun charge because there was a gun in the car. Aren't you open carry? Because you drive a muscle car, you were racing, automatically your rights go bye-bye? I don't know. I thought that meant something. You know, those little amendment thingies that we supposedly cherish. To me, it sends mixed messages. At the very least, let's say the guy's a scumbag. Everything is warranted, he deserved it, he got tried, and the judge was fair, and All these things. Don't flaunt it. Don't brag about it like, oh, we got this car. Not to mention, you know, police budgets are not that great. So you're going to use a $100,000 car instead of putting it up for auction and buying 3 regular patrol cars. This was an unnecessary flex. And this brings me to the final thing, which came out in 2009. It went viral again in 2014. It's a commercial. And you'll see why this thing really tugs at your heartstrings. It's funny because the language is very similar to the Hemi Life video that I did. Hemi a wrench, Hemi the keys. Hemi Liberty. So let's watch it.
Here's a couple of things America got right. Cars and freedom.
Fuck yeah. If that doesn't resonate with you, you're in the wrong place. For those of you that do feel the same way, let's make this a thing. Let's let our voices be heard and stand up to all those that just wanna, I don't even know. The thing with electric cars goes well beyond the norm. And on this channel, it's about liberty. And I'm not beholden. I'm not a paid shill. Only thing I shill for is freedom and V8s. So I'm Alex, and this is Rip Roaring Garage, where oil is thicker than blood, and where liberty still means something. Why doesn't Chuck Norris have an EV? Because no car's foolish enough to charge at his house. Mufflers are for sound. And Texans are, you know, kind, warm-hearted. So Hemi a like, Hemi a subscribe,